Hi, I'm Mark,
And I'm Terry.
and we're Escaping the Empty Nest. Hey y'all!
Hello.
So this is a surprise. We are taking our annual anniversary trip, 28 years from the day we met.
Yes.
And this is the third year in a row we've gone to leaf peeping. And so we've been to southern Colorado. We saw some amazing leaves there. That was 2 years ago. Last year we went to New England. This year we thought it'd be nice to check out northern Georgia and North Carolina. So, unlike our normal method of operation,
our method operandi.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
we didn't really plan what we were doing. So
we're winging it.
we're winging it.
We're
Yeah,
winging
we
it.
know where we're spending the night, and that's about it. And we're kind of dodging some weather here. But as soon as we hit the ground here in Atlanta, we got in the rental car, didn't even really know where we were going, and I told Terry, it's like, well, let me know what's close.
So TripAdvisor to the rescue.
Yeah.
So I got on my TripAdvisor app just to say, hey, what are some of the top things in Atlanta that we can do? And so this was number 14 on TripAdvisor. And we didn't know that we'd be able to make it through it in time, because we like to just linger sometimes if it's a good library. If it's not a good library, we'll be through pretty quickly.
We're at the Carter Presidential Library, by the way.
Yes, we're at the Carter Presidential Center right now.
And
so it actually said it would take 1 to 2 hours to go through, and that was pretty doable with the time we had.
Yeah.
So.
But what's interesting is, we've been to a few different presidential libraries, and we both were born in the late 60s. And so when Carter was president, we were aware of the man. We knew he was president, but I don't know if either one of us really understood the politics and what was going on with Camp David and stuff like that. And, that wasn't something that they necessarily covered in history classes when we were in school. Maybe they do now, but back then it was like current events. They really didn't talk about it very much.
It wasn't history yet.
Yeah, it wasn't history yet. It was just yesterday. So we learned a lot. I mean, say what you will about Carter's politics. I think he was elected because most people believed he was a good man. And, here he is in his 90s or however old he is now. He's still around. And I think most people do concede that he is a good man. He did a lot of good. He got into politics for the right reasons. And he's a person you can respect, the man, even if you disagree with him politically. I think that's kind of how most people feel about George W. Bush, too. They agree he's a good man who tried to do the right things, but maybe always his politics didn't rub people the right way. I got a little choked up at the end there watching the videos and seeing the information on Camp David.
Yes.
And how passionate he was and the arguments he made to get the Israel and Egypt to stay at the table and talk until they hammered out an agreement, and that deserves respect.
Yeah, I think the thing that was the coolest is whenever Anwar Sadat was about to leave, and he went and found a picture of all of Sadat's 8 grandchildren, and in a day and age without the internet, he found and wrote the names of all 8 of them on that picture and gave it to him and said, if you leave now, what kind of future are we leaving for our grandkids?
Yeah.
And they got to talking about grandkids, and it eventually convinced Sadat to stay.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's a monumental time in history, and we were too young to really appreciate it back then. But
we didn't really understand. We were in elementary school back then. So.
But presidential libraries, of course, the information's always a little slanted in the direction of the favor of the president. But they didn't shy away from talking about the Iran hostages. That was one of the last exhibits, obviously. You think about, what Carter's been doing for so many years with Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah.
I really didn't see anything at all in there.
That surprised me. I was expecting at the very end of the museum to see about all of his work for Habitat for Humanity, because after his presidency, to me, that is what I know him the best for.
Yeah.
Because I grew up when he was president and didn't really know what a president did and all that kind of stuff, but seeing him work for Habitat for Humanity, I was expecting something big on that at the end, which wasn't there, so I was a little disappointed with that. But overall the museum was really good. We
It
really
was.
enjoyed it.
It was. So we've been to the JFK Museum and we're like, on that one. This was actually very impressive. It touched me and taught me at the same time, and it was
Yeah.
it was very good. So if you're in Atlanta, heavily suggest checking it out. Even if you are not a fan of Carter as a Democrat, Carter as a person is worth learning about because he fought for racial equality in a time in Georgia when that just wasn't a popular position, and he still got elected and still continues to get elected. He went from state senator to governor and then of course finally president, and he fought the good fight all along. Like I said, politics aside, he's somebody worth admiring. So and someday we're going to lose him off this earth, and I'm glad I know a little bit more about him
Definitely.
because of visiting the library. And 'cause it's something we almost passed by. Yeah, do we want to do this? Do we want to do this? It's like, when are we going to be in Georgia again? Let's do it.
Yeah.
So definitely worth a good afternoon worth visiting. So anyway, so we're going to sign off for now, and hope you learned a little bit about the Carter Museum, and maybe you'll see it someday on your own. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.